Good day. Ira Epstein of Linn and Associates with your SPDR ETF wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Wednesday, the 21st of April, 2021. Wow. A mixed day, but boy, do I feel good on GME. I had some people writing me, telling me, because they had been looking at it, and I said, first challenge of that Bollinger Band, out you go on my rule, and that's exactly what occurred, and $25 rally, whew. All right, what about the rest? Well, Coinbase came out. Now people are going, oh, why didn't it go up from the first offering? Yesterday, idea was $350. Then it was actually $250, then $350, then $355, then $380, and the market, as you know, went up and then very quickly peaked itself out and then came back down. Got to let it trade for a little bit. You know, it didn't go up or down. Today's the first day of trading the way that I look at it. As we take a look at the metals, back and forth here, I'm getting more and more convinced we're just chopping around in them, waiting to see that they base or top here. They're going sideways, and I think that's an important move. QQQ got hit pretty hard, so did SPY. And while the DIA was down, I can tell you in the aftermarket, the futures were coming down, and then they rallied back up in the last few minutes. Now, from where they're going to settle, their last trades I'm seeing right now, yeah, probably 70 points higher, something in that area. But here's game coming down to the lower Bollinger Band and pop. Now the resistance is right here at 174.75. You'd have to take out 185.88 to break the downtrend. So this is the area that I think the pros actually, whatever they came out, if they like the bear side still, that's where I think they were putting the market back out. But that's a big move from where they came out. URA, the market's in a downtrend. What I'm not liking is the risk up here, but this is something that I'm looking at. Now, if you take out 1907, the swing line's going to move down to this high. So I would think that you're going to get new short selling coming in under there, seeing if they can press it another dollar with a stop after it takes out that number to see if it can do it. So what do the bears not want to see? I mean, what do the bulls not want to see? That number taken out. Now, from there, yeah, there could be traps and so on, but we'll see. I think the bears have control of this right now. PAVE, this is a distribution pattern. It's when the market just starts going sideways. And often in that sideways, if you take a look at the swing line, it can have a trend, it may not have one. It just is going back and forth. It has not fallen back to the 18-day average, and in order to do so, it would lose the pattern of higher lows and higher highs. The resistance was up here, the market backed away from it, and it got very overbought. Overbought resolves itself in one of two ways. The market's either in bed, where you get the red and the blue lines going sideways to higher over the 80 level, or you get a correction. With the correction, you typically pull back to that 18-day average of closes. THCX, as I said yesterday, I'm going to repeat it, we're in a very important area. If the market's going to make it stand, now is the place to do it. The lower Bollinger Band, not embedded. This is where I think the pros are lifting shorts. So those that were on the bear side of the market, let's see if I can get this to, oh, it doesn't want to play with me right here. Normally it'll let me do that. There we go. Okay. Yesterday's low in the market, 1812, that's the Bollinger Band. So today you're a little bit lower, a dime lower, but you're right in that zone. If the market's going to pop, this is the zone. Now between here and the 100-day average is the bigger support. Should that give ground, then you go back on the chart and it's all the way back here. It could even be in that $12 range from that area. SMH. So what we have is the possibility you're going to lose the embedded reading tomorrow. First trades of the day, if you're not sharply higher, that red line's going to fall in my opinion, under 80. Now, falling under it and closing under it are very different worlds, but you want to see what it does there. So now that the market's backing off, I think that the bulls, who I think were buying this market, are the ones on the rope at this time. They need to see a move back over 255.58. Otherwise, I'd be looking for the market to retrace fairly fast to the 245 level. I am not in the bear camp. Even though the swing line is down, the bias is up, and you're overbought. And you have not lost the embedded reading. Talking about it and doing it are two different things. To lose it, I like to see it under 79 reading. That's 3 points from here. It's not easy. XLI, embedded reading. I'm still very much in the bull camp. Higher lows, higher highs. I think the traders are buying these pullbacks. Today wasn't one of those days, but I wouldn't be surprised if back in this zone here, give it a little bit lower than this. I wouldn't be surprised to see buyers. I think they've been doing that. And as I said, they're looking for two numbers. They're looking for the upper Bollinger Band and a window envelope. If you're a subscriber to my morning spider videos, I put all the window envelopes on there. Plus, you can copy them and put them on your own chart because I show you everything, and at the bottom of every chart that I have, they're there. In addition, by the way, they're on our website and your member login if you're a subscriber to my morning videos. So, and I update them 2-3 times a day. When you take a look at XLE, now you're just chopping. I thought yesterday, and I had mentioned it, first off, you just got back down to the lower Bollinger Band. So this is an area where a bounce is more likely, and that's what you're getting. I think it'll get capped up here. I think now you're entering the first phase of a consolidation move. We saw the IEA, the International Energy Agency, come out with a prediction that 250,000 barrels a day more of consumption through 2021, which is way more than the 100,000 barrels a day that the Saudis and OPEC have been predicting would increase through the rest of 2021. That got people's attention and drove the market back to the upside. When we step to SPY, you're fully embedded. Now, you had your big reversal. So this is the area where you might make a trade top. Remember what we were talking about? Markets, I wish I could get this to work. Folks, I'm sorry about it. I can if I do this, and I'll bring it back. There we go. We were talking that if the market comes up like that and then starts drifting, this is called the drifting away from it. You'll see that. It resolves itself either by gathering more strength to go higher or a correction. As long as this is embedded, I'm of the opinion that this market's still going to be bought on these breaks now. And until that market's under 79, I will stay in that camp. In the emerging markets, you have an embedded reading. Again, until you lose this reading, I contend the pros are buying, looking for the upper Bollinger Band. GLD, I see nothing. I see a market that's churning the traders. And this, I love when this happens because number one, I recognize it and I tell my subscribers not to get involved. Number two, it's going to create either a top or a base of some importance because it's wide enough to do that and it's now long enough to do it. So two parts to it are very important. The next thing that I look at are what is GDX doing? Well, it's more of a follower. You know, it's going to look at gold prices. Let's face it. They're the miners. Everything's in the ground. They won't bring it above ground if there's not the demand of a price that makes sense to them. Number two, you've got the market fighting right here. See the green line? That's your 100-day average. If you come back here, it was important up here as well. So we have a resistance point in a market that is overbought, not in a trend. Why? Well, the swing line's trending down, but the bias is up and you're overbought. So that's why I had to say no. TLT, very overbought. Again, similar to the gold market. You had this monster move down. You're now getting length going sideways, top or bottom. Now, I know my preferences are we're going to see higher interest rates later in the year. I don't think it's right now. I think I've made that clear when this happened that I saw the end of a down leg. And if you take a look at it from that perspective here at the end of, let's say that was right around, probably late March. And the market has done what for these past 2.5, 3 weeks? Just drifted sideways. When we look at FXE, I'm surprised the market just keeps going. It's great. The dollar's weak right here, and this market's catching on fire. Why? Because they're getting more vaccines. They're getting more commitments for them. I realize there's a problem with AstraZeneca. Denmark today said they are no longer going to disperse it there. There's too many issues with the blood clots. We now heard the same type of issues with Johnson & Johnson. We'll see. You know, to me still, 6 people out of nearly 7 million, and there's problems for those 6. 1 died, 1 seriously in critical shape, the other 4 in trouble. All women. Maybe you just don't give it to women. I'm not being cute. I mean what I'm saying. If it's just on that gene side, maybe that's the solution. But you know, what Johnson & Johnson has going for it that the other markets don't is the ease in the marketplace of distributing it. Doesn't need those extreme cold temperatures. It's 1 shot. It's a dream drug in concept for third world economies for certain, and for people that don't want to keep going back to their doctor's office. I want to remind you, you know, one of the things that we do here at Linn and Associates, we talk all these markets. Now you're going to say, hey, you guys are futures brokers. Well, let me share with you something. Are you trading in the S&P, the SPY, the QQQ, DIA? You're trading futures contracts. They're hidden because you're calling it an ETF. Underneath it, they're futures. Trading TLT? What do you think? BND? What do you think? GDX, SLV? I can go on. And we write about all those from the futures perspective, and then I pick up on that for you, and then I help you run with it on the day-to-day perspective of all this. So how do you get the access to this? And it's a free trial. Costs you absolutely nothing. Just go to our website, sign up for free right there. Do me a favor, if you like these different videos that I'm doing, let us know. Hit the like button as a minimum, that always helps us. And if you want me to cover different ETFs, put them out there on YouTube for me. I always take a look at them, and we'll start working with that. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.